So today we are going to discuss an important topic which is part of Java. As part of inheritance, we are discussing about method overriding. So what is the purpose of method overriding? So method overriding is one kind of a concept where you can define a method according to the situations. That is, if you have a method according to the requirement, you can define it in a different way. So it may be, let us say that how it look like. There is one question: how the method look like? The method used for method overriding will be of same signature in every class. So as part of overloading, we are using same method name but with the different parameters and with the different return types and number of parameters. So this is the difference between overloading and overriding. Whereas overriding is one kind of a concept which gives us the functionality to hide the functionality like abstraction. Abstraction is an important aspect of it. So abstraction deals with hiding of contents. Okay, abstraction deals with the hiding of contents which should not be revealed outside. So whichever things are to be hidden in nature, you just go for the method overriding. So let us get into the details of it. Method overriding. So if a subclass has the same method name as declared in the parent class, it is known as method overriding in Java. Repeat the point once again, that is, if a parent class contains a method, the same method name is also available in the subclass with the same name, with the same signature, everything will be the same. Then we can say that it is overriding, method overriding in Java. In other words, we can also say that if a subclass provides the specific implementation of the method that has been declared by one of its parent class, it is also known as overriding. So it is nothing but if a subclass is providing a specific implementation that is apart from parent class will be defining the method in a different way. Subclass is different, defining the method in a different way. But the signatures are same. The definitions may not be the same, but the signatures, prototype, everything is same. So that is what method overriding deals with. Next, where this method overriding is useful to us. Usage of Java method overriding. So method overriding is used to provide the specific implementation of a method which is already provided by its superclass. So as we discussed just now, method overriding is used for runtime polymorphism. It is an important point, you have to note it also. That is, method overriding can be decided at runtime, not at the compile time. So if you are thinking about overloading, then it will be at compile time. But whereas overriding, it is majorly done at runtime. So these are the usages of method overriding. Next, let's get into more details like rules for method overriding. So what are the rules that should be followed when we are trying to use method overriding concept in programming? So the method must have the same name as in the parent class. That is the first rule. The second rule must have the same parameters in the parent class. So just now I said everything will be the same. And there must be an easy relationship. That is, there should be an inheritance. That is, if a parent class is there, a child class will be inheriting properties of the parent class. So that construct should be there if you want to use method overriding feature. Okay, let us take one example regarding this. So in this example, we are discussing about a vehicle. Vehicle can be any vehicle. Okay, vehicle can be any vehicle, but you try to understand here a sample program for sample demonstration. I'm explaining this program to make you understand the method overriding concept. So class vehicle contains a method called as run, which is of return type void. Okay, this is parent class which is displaying a statement. Vehicle is running is a statement which is part of the run method. So in the child class, so what should be the child class? It may be a bike, vehicle can be a bike, car, any kind of a thing. Now here, for example, we have took bike as a subclass for the vehicle superclass. So under this subclass, we have a run method which contains a different definition, that is bike is running safely. So you can provide either definitions also, but for sample example, I am displaying this one. That is the first run method which is part of parent class is displaying vehicle is running. The second, the point of that is a run method which is part of subclass is displaying bike is running safely. So these are the two methods. The signature is same, method names are same, prototype return types are also same, but the definitions may be different. So if when we create an object for the subclass, so what happens? We will be calling a run method, then it will display simply the run method, that is the subclass method, calling a method. So you are overriding a method with the different definitions. And one more thing, in the previous class I discussed about inheritance. So to which class we are trying to create an object, either it is superclass or subclass. So every time in inheritance we will be creating an object for subclasses, not for superclasses. Try to understand this. See, what is the advantage of creating an object for the subclass? Because subclass contains all the properties of the superclass. But if you want to create a superclass object, the functionality is limited to the superclass itself. But whereas subclass, when you are creating an object for a subclass, the functionality can be increased. The extended features can be added to it. So if you create an object for a subclass, you can access so many things. Along with subclass properties, you can access the superclass properties also. So most of the time in Java programming, objects will be created for the subclasses, not for the superclasses. So this is about method overriding. This is an example, real-time example. See, there are different types of banks are there for us. Okay. So what happens here is we have a superclass called as a bank. Bank, it has one method called as rate of interest. Okay. Bank is a superclass which contains a method called as rate of interest, get rate of interest. So it is defined in a different way. Let us come to the subclasses. So bank will be extended by SBI, extended by ICICI, extended by Axis. So according to different banks, the rate of interest will be different, but the method names are same. Return types are also same. The type of the variables are also same. But the definition of the method, which is called as here rate of interest, will be different as part of SBI, as part of ICICI, as part of Axis. So what happens here, whenever you go for the loan kind of a thing, then rate of interest will be different when compared with the three banks. So this is about method overriding example, overriding. Next, let us get into the important topic called as abstract class and abstract method. Okay. See, what is abstract method? Then we will look up to the abstract class. So before we get further into the details of it, let me clear the topic regarding method overriding. Method overriding is a concept which is applicable in inheritance concept. It can be done through the methods which have the same name in the superclass as well as subclasses, and the purpose of them are to define a method in a different way according to the subclasses on which objects will be created. So this is about method overriding. Let's get into the topic called as abstract method. So abstract method, what is an abstract method? A method which is called as an abstract, which it does not have any definition for it. It does not have method body. It will have only the method's prototype. Prototype is nothing but return type will be there, name of the method will be there, parameter list will be there, followed by semicolon. That's it. A method which is called as abstract method does not have method body, and it should be preceded by abstract keyword. Okay, and it should be preceded by abstract keyword. So let us see here. An abstract method is a method without method body. It contains only the method header, and we can also say that it is an incomplete method. Now, what do you mean by incomplete method? Incomplete method is nothing but we are not defining, we are not writing method body for a method which is called as an abstract method. So we can say that it is an incomplete method. Now next, we have an abstract method which is written, and the same method has to perform different tasks depending on the object calling it. So what do you mean by this? This is one type of method overriding also, but with the abstract keyword. So abstract method is written when the same method has to perform different tasks depending on the objects. So according to different objects, this method will be utilized in a different way. And this is called as polymorphism also. Yes or no? Polymorphism is nothing but behaving differently according to the situations. So one object will be defining a method in a different way. The other object will be defining the method in a different way. So this is what the feature lies here, polymorphism. So next, both abstract method and abstract class should be declared by using a keyword called as abstract. So whenever you are writing a method and a class which should be an abstract, then you precede them with a abstract keyword. And next important point is we can not create an object to abstract classes. Why? Why we are not creating objects to abstract classes? Because they contains abstract classes contains abstract methods. Now what is abstract class? Abstract class is nothing but a class which contains abstract methods. Not only abstract methods, they can also contain other methods also. So but especially we are concentrating here is abstract class. So abstract class contains abstract methods. Abstract methods does not have method body, so they are incomplete. So we are not supposed to create objects for them. So what is the purpose of creating an object for an abstract class which does not contain methods definitions inside it? So there is no use. So for that purpose, we will not create objects for abstract classes. Next, but we can create reference variables for the abstract classes. So how it can be done? It should be done in the practicals. I will explain the program, then you can understand what exactly means by it. So the reference variable which is created for the abstract class can refer to the different objects of the subclasses. So whichever class is trying to extend the abstract class, okay, whichever class is trying to extend the abstract class, they should be referred through reference variable of abstract class. So next point, it is demonstrating that an abstract class contains instance variables and concrete methods in addition to the abstract method. Just now I said an abstract class can also contain variables along with them concrete methods. Concrete methods are nothing but other than abstract methods, normal methods. Other than abstract methods which are part of the abstract class are called as concrete methods. Okay, let us get into further details. So all the abstract methods of abstract class should be implemented in its subclasses. It is compulsory. So if an abstract class contains one method, which is an abstract method, it should be defined in its subclasses. Let us say that if you are not defining, if the method which is called as abstract method is not defined in its subclasses, then that subclass also behaves as an abstract class because it is not trying to define an abstract method which is part of abstract class. So it should also be declared as abstract. That is what the next point it is saying. See how it looks like. That is, an abstract class is a class with 0 or more abstract methods. Let us see the example. Abstract class, my class, followed by abstract void calculate method. So it does not have any definition here. So what happens? Whichever class, whichever class is trying to extend this class, okay, abstract class, then that subclass, this if it is a super class, let us say that abstract class, my class is a super class, whichever subclass is trying to inherit the properties of the abstract class, they should define this void calculate method in its classes. So let us see the example here. So abstract class, my class, which contains abstract void calculate method, which is the super class here. So class subclass 1 extends my class. In this class, we are trying to define void calculate method, that is square. Okay, void calculate method, which is defined in subclass 1. And there will be another subclass which is extending my class, subclass 2, in which again the void calculate method is defined in a different way. So void calculate method in the subclass 1 is finding out the square of the number. In the subclass 2 it is finding out the cube of the variable. So in different classes we are defining differently by using the same method. This is one kind of a polymorphism. Next, with the main method, we are creating different types of objects. We will be calling all those calculate methods as part of subclass 1 and subclass 2. So this is about abstract class. Let us see interface. Before we get into interface, I will brush up all the things regarding abstract method and abstract class. So abstract method, if you want to call a method as an abstract method, it should be preceded by abstract keyword and it should not contain method body. So which is called as abstract class? A class which should be called as an abstract class that should contain abstract methods. Not only abstract methods, they also contain some other methods. They are called as concrete methods. And one more important point it is objects will not be created for abstract classes because it contains incomplete methods. So whichever subclass is implementing or extending the abstract class, they must provide the definition for the method called as abstract method in their classes. For abstract classes, we can create reference variables. Through that reference variable, you can point out to different objects created for different subclasses of the abstract class. Next, all abstract methods should be implemented in its subclass. Just now I said, if any subclass of abstract class is not defining the method or abstract method, then that subclass will be treated as an abstract class also. So these are some of the important points regarding abstract method and abstract classes. This is an example program. Let us get into important topic that is called as interface. So interface, what is interface? See, in abstract class, I told you abstract method is there. Okay. Abstract class contains abstract method which does not have method body, and it may contain other methods also. But whereas interfaces, coming to the interfaces topic, it will contain only the abstract methods. Okay, it contains only the abstract methods, no other methods. Okay, no other methods. Only abstract methods will be there as part of the interfaces. So an interface is a specification of method prototypes. Method prototypes. It does not have definitions. So all methods of interfaces are public and abstract, compulsory. They should be of signature public, along with abstract keyword should be there for the methods which are part of interfaces. Next, an interface contains only abstract methods which are all incomplete methods. Okay. I think everyone understood this point. That is, an interface contains only abstract methods. They don't have any other methods. And we also know that abstract methods are incomplete methods. We are saying them as incomplete because they don't have method body. And next, so it is not possible to create an object to interfaces. Just now we said abstract classes also we cannot create objects for them. Similarly, interfaces also we cannot create objects because they have all the incomplete methods inside it. So how to use the interface? So interfaces can be implemented by the subclasses. Okay, all the classes which implements, try to understand, interfaces are implemented, classes are extended. Okay, all the classes which implements all the methods of interface are called as implementation classes. So whichever classes are trying to implement an interface, those classes are called as implementation classes. So since implementation classes will have all the methods with the body, it is possible to create objects to the implementation classes. I think the point is clear here. Because we are defining or writing method body for all the methods. Okay, all the methods belonging to the interfaces, then the methods are complete now. The methods have method body now in the implementation classes. So we can create objects for implementation classes, not for interfaces. So you can say that interfaces can have abstract methods and variables. So try to understand here. Interface can have variables, not other methods. Only abstract methods will be there and variables will be there. Now, how the variables will look like? Let us see. An interface can have variables which are public, static, and final by default. So what do you mean by this? The variables which are part of the interfaces, they should be of public nature, static, as well as finals. It means they are constant variables. Okay, they are constant variables which have been utilized over the other classes. So as we said that for interfaces we cannot create objects. Now we can create references for them. For interfaces we can create references for them. We cannot create objects for them. So what is the speciality of creating references for interfaces or abstract classes? So whenever you are trying to create a reference for an interface, it means that it does not need a specified memory for it. It will not concentrate on the memory. Okay, when you create objects, it will be concentrating on memory. When you create objects, the concentration will be made on the memory which is created by the objects. But here for interfaces, we will be creating references which will not occupy much memory. So memory is not a issue here. So they will not concentrate on the memory utilized by the reference variables. So they will be concentrating on the objects which have been created for the implementation class. So whenever an interface is written, any third party vendor can provide implementation classes for it. So what do you mean by this? Let us say that there is one kind of an interface is there. For that interface, anyone can write any definition. So an interface contains one method. That method will be defined according to myself differently, according to yourself differently, according to other persons differently. So anyone can define a method which is part of interface in a different way. And one more thing, an interface can extend another interface. Okay. So what exactly interface? Interface is also looking like a class. So interface can extend another interface. But here, next point, it says that interface cannot implement another interface. So interface to interface implementation is not possible. Interface to interface extension is possible because implementation classes will look after the methods which are part of those interfaces. Next, why we need to use interfaces? It is used to achieve abstraction, and by interface we can support the functionality of multiple inheritance. I will be discussing in the coming topic, that is multiple inheritance, how we can achieve them. So how to declare an interface can be declared as interface keyword will be there, followed by interface name, and it will contain abstract methods. So this is part of usage of interface as well as declaration of interface. So this is what I want to say clearly, that is a classes will be extended. One class to the other class can be extension is possible. So class to a interface implementation is possible. Interface to interface extension is possible. Okay, I think it is clear from this diagram that a class can extend other class, a class can implement interface, an interface can extend another interface. But implementation is not possible. Interface cannot implement another interface. And one more thing, class can implement more than one interface. Make a point of this. That is, a class can implement more than one interface. Okay. So with this point, we can say that major topics have been finished. In the coming classes, I will be discussing more of the programming. So, and we will be discussing about differences between abstract class and interfaces. And we are also discussing about in the coming classes about multiple inheritance. We can achieve multiple inheritance by using interfaces. So let me brush up all the things, that is, let me clear all the things regarding interface. So what is called as an interface? An interface is a class which contains abstract methods, only abstract methods. It does not have any other methods. Okay, only abstract methods will be available as part of interface. Next, an interface is one kind of a specification of methods will be there. All the methods which are part of interfaces are public and abstract in nature. They don't have method body. So the classes which are going to implement these interfaces, they will be defining the methods body for the abstract methods of interfaces. And one more important point, that for interfaces, objects will not be created. The only thing that can be created is a reference variable. So methods, and one more thing, an interface also contains a variables. They should be in the signature like public, static and final. It means they are constant variables. And one more thing, interface can be extended. An interface can extend another interface. An interface cannot implement another interface. If one interface is available for us, we can provide different definitions for them. Okay, let us say that I will give an example for the real-time example for it. Let us say that you have one laptop with you. It will contain one USB port. I am assuming that it contains only one USB port, or it may contain more than that, but it contains one USB port. So you buy one more USB device along with the laptop. You purchased one pen drive USB device which is belonging to different companies. It may be belong to Kingston, it may belong to HP, it may belong to SanDisk, it may belong to any other company. So all these pen drives can be used with your laptop, yes or no? It can be used with your laptop. They will not say that I will not function with this laptop. They will not say that if it is an HP pen drive, I will work with the HP laptop only. It will not say like that. So the pen drive will be working with any type of a laptop USB ports. So what is happening? USB port is an interface which is available with your laptop. USB port which is available with your laptop. For that USB port, you are adding an USB pen drive which is belonging to different companies. That is what we are saying, an interface, defining differently according to different companies. So according to HP company, the pen drive will be, the device installation will be done. When you add the USB drive with your laptop, what will happen? First, device installation will be done. So what do you mean by that? According to that pen drive, the laptop will be adjusted with its settings. Installation is nothing but defining the pen drive with your laptop, or configuring the pen drive with your laptop. So next time you kept SanDisk pen drive. First time you kept HP. Second time you kept, what is that? SanDisk. So when you added the SanDisk pen drive to your laptop, it will not say that I already have HP pen drive configuration. I will not work for SanDisk pen drive. So it will not say that. It will again install the drivers for it. Yes or no? So it is, the laptop is trying to adjust according to the different types of pen drives inserted into USB ports. So this is nothing but defining a method differently according to the requirement. So this is what interface means. Okay, it is less than 1 minute. So in the coming class, we will be going to discuss about multiple inheritance and some program. I think everyone understood with this one. Thank you. Thank you one and all.